Hi, I'm Heather. I'm a psychic medium, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's like for me to connect to spirits. So, I've always been connected with spirits for as long as I can remember, and I've had a few times in my life where I have felt that I've lost that connection, but it always comes back. When I say that, though, I have to also say that it doesn't ever really disappear. It doesn't go away. It's always there. It's just that our 3D selves, our earthly selves, kind of come in and take over the connection a little bit. So that's just something that I've learned in my many years now. Because I'm starting to feel my age now. But how when I'm getting messages from spirits, it depends on the person that's coming through, who I'm speaking to, whether they are a resident spook, i.e. they are confined to that area, or this is what I would say a loved one in spirit or a live spirit. They're all live, really. They're just living differently. But how they come through, some people are very quiet and they're a bit shy and they don't really know how to connect. It could be their first time coming through. Some people are very loud and they want to be heard over the top of everybody else. So they tend to come in very close. They'll be right at the front there. And again, especially when I have worked on platform, it tends to be the louder voices that get the attention. So those are the ones we go to first. And I would say you've got to remember, people don't change that much when they pass to spirit. Their personality traits are pretty much the same. So if your relative, your loved one, was a very quiet person that didn't like to be noticed, they're not going to suddenly pass into spirit and become that person that is life and soul of the party. Pardon the pun. However, you do have some very persistent energies as well, people that really want to be heard. So they tend to come in quite close. I always tend to get spirit energies on this side of me, just to the front. But if I look around, I will see different energies like all around you. Once you're connected, you can't really get away from it. So I try to focus my attention accordingly. I ask them to line up on this side, take their turns. And I do have some help with that. I have my spirit assistants or my spirit guides, and they will step in if it gets a little bit too rowdy or a bit busy on the other side there. So they will kind of manage the crowd there for me. If there's lots of people, when you have a personal reading, it tends to be very quiet, very intimate. So you have one person at a time coming through, one family member at a time, or it could be somebody that has recently passed away, and they do tend to be, you have to be kind of ginger with them. You can't ask them lots of questions because, they'll talk in their own time. Because people often will ask, if they're expecting to hear from somebody in particular and that person doesn't appear, they'll want to know why. Unfortunately, we have to do it all in our own time. So you think they've just passed over, they're still adjusting. They might not be ready to come back and communicate. They might not have too much to say right now because they're kind of trying to deal with what's just happened. And they will have help with that. They will have family around them who are already passed over. Sometimes they have angels, angelic support come on through there and helping them. It's a very difficult time. It's a challenging time, and we have to be sensitive to that. Sometimes, you might be very excited that you're connecting with somebody you haven't spoken to for a long time, and, it's really happy and it's quite joyous. And it can become a bit like a three-way conversation. So I am literally then the person that is just feeding what's being said. So it's in effect a two-way conversation between yourself and your loved one in spirit. And I'm just kind of in the way. I'm like the telephone. So those can be fun. Those can be really fun. For me, I'm very much in the moment. I'm in the energy, but I forget that actually the person that I'm sat with is the real life person, and the person in spirit. They sometimes become more real to me than the person I'm sat in front of. So very often, if you come to me for a mediumship reading and I start talking and you haven't said anything to me, it's because I'm being polite. I'm talking to the spirit. I'm answering their question because you want to know, can they hear me? They're asking, can they hear me? You're both asking the same things. For me, it's kind of fun, but I do find mediumship work kind of draining. So especially when you have quite a lively connection sometimes. So that's why it's important to really clear down once you've finished doing a mediumship session. But yeah, there's lots and lots of times where I have done mediumship and then I have completely forgotten what I have just been talking about, who I've been speaking to, what's been said, because it's not something that my brain retains that information. It doesn't hold on to it. There's no need for it because I've literally been channeling spirits. When you're channeling, you're allowing the energy to flow through you, but you're not actually connecting yourself with that energy, so you don't retain any of it. And that's why it's quite exhausting as well, because you don't know what you've been doing for the last hour. Yeah, but it's fun. It's good fun. If you ever get the chance to develop your mediumship, because I believe everybody has the potential and has the ability to connect with spirit. If you ever get the chance to develop it, you shouldn't shy away from it. It's nothing to be afraid of. These are people that love you. They want to talk to you. They mean, the absolute best for you in life, and they're trying to do what they would typically have been doing, which is look after you and make sure that you're okay. So if you ever get the chance to develop, definitely go for it. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found some of that interesting. You can always call through and ask me any questions about your developments or any experiences that you've had, or, if you just want to say hi to somebody in spirit. So I will speak to you soon. Take care.